Alright, so we are back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video. This one is about the new Errata list, not ban list, but Errata list. And if you've been living under a rock, or if you haven't seen it, I'm definitely gonna go through it, go through my thoughts. I definitely want to hear yours. Please put a comment below. Subscribe if you are new. I'm trying to get to that 4K mark before the year ends, and hopefully get back into the groove of doing daily videos and etc. But let's go into it right now with these two. So basically, if you haven't seen it, again, we had both World Peace and as well as Plea of Salvation getting hit, or at least updated onto the errata / ban / limit list. And basically for both of them, instead of equal to or less than your current energy, it is now only 3 or less, and play it. It still has a desire card, you can still use it for free, but you still have to use within you have to use it when you have 4 or less energy, which basically nullifies the whole card, because by the time that you do have 4 energy, you rather play something equal or more value to what you're actually playing. So playing a 3 or less is basically a nerfed Child's Wish backwards into World Peace. They basically gave us Child's Wish, but for 4 energy. And the whole point of Child's Wish was to play everything for cheap from your drop, fuel everything into your drop, and then play it, etc, etc. The point of World Peace is to play big bombs, and as well as other cards like Gogeta 7, the Goku Oob, Kaioken, etc. Things of ramp. Not only that, but now the biggest hit, in my opinion, not only just Shinjita and just ramp in general, but the 5-drop Gogeta. Yes, you can still play it for 4 energy, but it does require two cards for Union Fusion. It basically replaces itself. It's instead of giving you a 25k body and double strike and as well as draw 2. I think that is probably the biggest thing. I do agree with this as far as World Peace. I don't really agree with Plea of Salvation, because Plea of Salvation already was kind of a nerfed card. It had that 2k or 2 costs or less KO effect, but because it was a green card, you know, that's within its archetype. Like, let it be, right? That's what it was. That's what I would think. World Peace, on the other hand, kind of limits design. It sort of, you basically, it's like the chain attack SS3 whatever mentality, in which, like, can you World Peace this out, can you cheat this out, etc, etc, and can you use objection, can you use, you know, other cards to ramp up and get to that point where you're good to go and actually use World Peace for free. But now, because it is 3 or less, that really limits everything, both for basically for both cards. And I don't think I really agree with this. I think it should have just been banned. I can't really say anything else. Honestly, Plea of Salvation was perfectly fine for me. I don't really agree with World Peace over here. The reasoning at the bottom, if you didn't see that, is that Shenron players can play game-ending cards without paying energy, and then use the energy they do have to further establish their board, making it easy for them to win games. And a staggering amount of cards are playable with this effect, with greatly affect card design going forward, which if you haven't seen in set 8 and other promos and the draft box, a lot of them are very specified to play from the hand, just like the new Android 21 card. I do respect Bandai in that, in which, you know, they're gonna make sure that the desire cards are not going to be too broken. Like, I want to go into it a little bit further, but as far as World Peace, that was definitely one of the things that was already on their mind. But, you know, what else was updated? The Purunga leader. So shout out to Badman, RIP. They changed his ultimate into a 3 or less cost, just like the World Peace and Plea of Salvation. So I don't really like the erratas. I rather they just ban it, or just have Purunga leader do his thing. He was already just kind of whatever, and, you know, it's I don't know, Bandai, why would you do this? This is what I'm really trying to get to. Just why Purunga? Purunga's already kind of a lackluster leader. And 3 or less is really not that great. I think 5 or less would have been great as an ultimate effect, because now there's not really too much, which again I'll go through as far as Purunga goes after this errata. All right, moving on. We also have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku when it now says if Son Goku isn't in play in your battle area, you choose one of your red battle cards, 25k or more, and place in the drop area. And then when you activate leader effect, you play it from the hand. They basically just didn't want it to be used multiple times in a row. And then the 7 drop Grade 8 Baby, the new red yellow one, it just needed a colon instead of a comma. That's pretty much it for that one. And then we have the Android 21, the beautiful scientist. A lot of people said, and I was thinking of the same thing, they just simply forgot the energy exhaust. I don't think that they're really planning for any multicolored cards to have no energy exhaust other than ones that you have to have a multi in your energy area anyway. And you can, I didn't put it here, but it said that all multicolored cards have energy exhaust. So I would imagine moving forward, we're probably not going to do this, or we're probably not going to have one that didn't have energy exhaust. So kind of a bummer, but oh well. So what wasn't affected then? As far as Shenron leaders and it's just Shenron decks in general, I do not think they're going anywhere. World Peace was a big hit. Yes, it shifts a lot of different things as far as you know, how you design the deck and what your win con looks like, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think more people have to be creative in what they want to do as far as a Shenron leader, and as well as just any kind of wish leader. Now that World Peace kind of affects all wish leaders, I don't think they're dead. I don't think you have no options, because all the ones in front of us are very playable, and there are still quite a lot of options in the future in which we can go ahead and make different decks with, or yeah, make different decks with. The other thing I will say is that Shenron technically wasn't hit. Like giving anything triple attack is still busted. And the Gogeta Hero Revived over here on the right still can be used for 5 energy. Objection wasn't hit. The Zeno button wasn't hit. So I mean, you still, you still can do these things pretty frequently, and on the play, on curve, whatever you want to kind of call it. We still have Super Dragon Ball. We still have the Dragon Balls to draw for free. I really don't see these things being bad in the future, basically. I think on the flip side, people may not play 4-drop Shenron anymore because of the counterplays. I don't know if anybody would go ahead and just hard cast it for 4. That's a really tough thing to do. You have to be more energy efficient. You might have to use squad into the Kai instead, that sort of thing. But going left to right and top to bottom, we still have Android 16 with objection. Yes, you have the ramp. Basically, you have to play a multicolor card, and there is the restriction there for 30 to 35,000 for the rest of the game. But it is still a ramp card. You still can use this into basically hard casting a big boy like the new Android 21. We still have the Kaba that you can play in Purunga or Shenron, technically. Purunga is still perfect for both Kaba, and as well as the 3-drop Champa. Yeah, the 3-drop Champa. I think 3HG posted a video pretty early, and as well as just in general, like this was still a good deck. There are plenty of answers to it, like Dark Power, but I will give you a very, very good answer to Dark Power, and as well as Topo. Just play Tao. And then we have also the Son Goku and as well as Son Gohan, Saiyans of Earth. If you haven't seen Anthony's deck, not the one who got disqualified, but the one who actually played throughout the entire event. It was the one that is the tricolored Gogeta, or the tricolored Shenron, and that didn't play World Peace. That didn't play any of the problem cards that we're talking about right now. It is just a solid deck in which, if you take the time to take a look at what our card pool looks like and take advantage of the triple strike, this is still really good. So there you go. And then we have Gogeta. Again, you can hard cast it for the 5 energy for Goku and Vegeta. It's still a broken card. It still has everything. It's still slid past the ban list just another time. If you're trying to win on the same turn that Hero Revive comes out, you're doing it wrong. Don't do that. Just wait the next turn and then just defend With 3 cards, they're not really going to do too much. And then we have Familiar Bonds, and really any red leader, but Oolong is still great. Assembling the squad with a lot of different jank and as well as spicy tech that people can come up with. We have AoE Dende, really has not seen too much play. I think the barrier of entry compared to Shenron Gogeta is kind of high. The secret boo that we have shown here is about $100, even maybe even more. It might be going a little bit lower, but not everybody's going to want to drop that much money to play one deck that might not be the best deck in the room. And Shenron Gogeta is kind of one of the best decks in the room, or was going to nationals, so that's kind of why it was in second place. So you know. And then we have Birth of the Super Saiyan God. I'm thinking there's gonna be some shenanigans with this, but I just don't know which one yet. And then we have sort of candidates for the later on. I know there might be some sort of some flack here, but oh well, you can eat my shorts, because I was going to make a video for this. I don't know why Bandai did this 3-4 weeks before the set release, but hey, I thanks, I guess. And now we have to sort of play this next format with no other ban list until, I mean, maybe, who knows, but I would think there's no other ban list until I would say January, February, until set 9 comes out. But we do have Janemba. A lot of people were thinking that he should be banned. In my opinion, I don't think is that bad. Same thing for Yellow Broly. Both of them are sort of oppressive in their own ways. You know, Janemba's compared to a lot of other card games, or just in general, he mills very easily, and even with the 5 or less restriction, or 5 or more restriction actually, he's actually pretty versatile with all of the blue yellow, all of the blue green now, the red blue stuff that I've mentioned before, or have mentioned, or will mention, I guess, and then a lot of other like tricolored goodness. And I think he is still very strong. Like, he's one of the strongest defensive leaders in the game, and Mill is one of those unavoidable win cons that you just really can't do too much about. I will say Hachiak, I will say a number of other cards coming out in set 8, and a couple of current cards that we have will mitigate the Mill, and that's kind of why I'm like about Janemba. I'm very curious to hear about everybody else. Broly, he's just a really good leader. That's all I can really say about it. The untap for anything and take a life is sort of the balance mechanic for him. If you mess up and you mess up the glass cannon type of deal, like you kind of die before you even want to do you go for a win, then that's sort of the way that Broly goes sometimes. And then Gogeta should have been banned. There's not much to say about that. And then Xenobutton, with all of the arrival cards, all of the ape stuff that we have, all of the on the turn, on your opponent's turn and type of stuff here. If you just splash blue, and as well as Senzu Bean, Xenobutton is a very, very broken card, and it has really picked up traction since the Hercule meta. And I think I would say, I don't know. I think I'm still on the fence of it. Like, Objection is not as bad. It was going to be on this list, but Objection is not as bad now that World Peace is gone. But again, since Gogeta is around, it is still something to kind of consider. Same thing for Xenobutton, and as well as all the arrival / ape stuff. And then the Errata candidates. So really just 2. I don't think there's really anything else within the format. I think this format is actually really quite good. I think the ban list is still kind of lackluster, and as well as a little underwhelming, but whatever. As far as Mira, I think still we will see in the future, but still he could be errated to only Android or Toa leader, because he is just sort of like one of the things that make Broly win on a consistent basis. And then Janemba could be errated to mill 1 on the front side, and then, or just draw 1 and then mill none, and then when he awakens he mills 2. So there's that. And then the unbanned list candidates, you know, the boy, you have to know, it is Cell. Please unlimit Cell. Hashtag free Cell. All right, that's it. I'm not going to go into it anymore. I think I've said what I needed to say. I'm agreeing with a lot of people. I disagree with a few. There are different box toppers and promos and things like that came out today, but I'm not going to go over. I think that this would be a 30-minute video otherwise, and I don't really want to do that. If you want me to go through that, please let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.